we're going to look at a replay of Salem on Ultimate Frontier with a team that has no battleships. It's not quite my personal best in Salem. I believe my personal best outside of flagship operations was 700-ish on Naval Station Newport, but this is going to get pretty close here. We've got Yodo, ourselves in the Salem. We've got Hawaii, Bremen, Suzuya, GQ Johnny, and U4501. Also, interestingly enough, 5 of them spawn down here in the south. Only Hawaii and I spawn up here in the north. And immediately everyone's pointing out that, yeah, there's no BDs. Now, there is a Bremen. Bremen is one of the few ships that is capable of 1v7ing. I mean, technically 1v8. If you go up like that, or if you go up like that, you can 1v8 the 3 battleships, the Salem cruiser, and then the 4 cruisers that spawn over here. Other than that, pretty much no one else can really deal with all of this down here without team help. Salem could. Salem has 30 mil side plating as well. I think Suzuya might be able to if it has 30 mil side platings, but it's 155s. Like the Yodo. Well, actually, I don't know. It might be able to. But, so what we're going to do here, first we're going to go up here, help with the Zal. Right? The Zal can handle the 1v1 against the booster, but the Cleveland or Buffalo that comes down here, he'll need help with. The sooner that cruiser dies, the sooner the Zal can keep his health pool. So we're going to help the Zal. My initial plan was to help against both the cruisers, the one that goes down this way and the one that comes out this way. But I'm kind of like keeping an eye behind me and down here on the minimap. Yes, we are trying to help clear these minefields out for the bonus. I am keeping an eye on my teammates. So there's the Buffalo, right? There's the Buffalo we need to help us out with. I'm just kind of watching how this unfolds. Because if Bremen... So the dangerous part about the battleships not being killed quickly is when the team tries to go past here, they can easily get nuked by the battleships, which is not ideal. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for that. We have a good 45, 46, 47 degrees angle on the Buffalo, so AP roughly center mass. Be just fine. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but the reticle I use here, the top number, so the top bar is seconds based on 30 knots, and then the bottom bar is seconds based on 20 knots. Against a target that's perfectly 90 degrees. And then you can adjust from there, obviously, as need be. So we've got the Buffalo. Buffalo's dead. Zal's very healthy. So now I see that the battleships are still very much alive, so I decide to turn around and help down here. And we're going to go like this, effectively. We're going to do here. Kind of like that. Thankfully, Wave 1 is down here as well, later on. So, that's really great. Good thing. Our little DD here is helping out against the Des Moines, right? Got some cruisers working on Des Moines. That's good. I want to point out that Des Moines is firing at our Yodo, despite the destroyer being right up on the Des Moines. Most AI on operations will prioritize the nearest target. We're going to miss our first 2 Southwest on the Salem because he's backing up faster than I thought he was. Most enemy ships will shoot the nearest allied ship, with few exceptions. That Des Moines might be one of those exceptions I've never really noticed before. I might have to try that out in a destroyer myself later on. We're coming down here. We have 30 most side platings, right? North Carolina doesn't overmatch us. The Iowa doesn't overmatch us. The Colorado doesn't overmatch us. Fire, that's okay. Let it burn. We want to keep our DCP. We want our DCP to be available for the cruisers. So we're just going to keep it. We don't care about this fire right here. Technically, we want to save our DCP until after the cruisers. So he shoots, we angle in. Right? Got down to a 25-degree angle. He pinned the rear of our ship, but bounced off the middle plating. That's fine. Once you start going past this line, this Benson spawns in. Well, it's more like, on the mini-map here, it's more like this line that the Benson will spawn in. He doesn't actually spawn in unless someone pushes. And we are pushing. We're trying to take heat for our team. See, the Yodo is practically almost already dead. The GQ, same thing. I don't mind. It looks like I've lost a lot of health. I still have a lot of health left. This is fine. I'm still trying to watch my angle to the Colorado, right? He's still over, I believe, the Colorado overmatches our nose. I'm not sure which one. He already shot, so I turn out to get a last salvo off on the Colorado. I didn't see him. I should have stopped and saved that salvo. Didn't realize he had already died. Seattle and Helena, both of them are the light cruisers. Seattle's Citadel is most easily hit, like, behind the smokestacks. It's a little wonky, so is Helena's. So we're trying to hit between the smokestacks or roughly behind it. Now, I don't mind the fire here. The Seattle being dead is the reason why I don't DCP this. Or at least I didn't DCP the first fire. Because he was about to be dead. If he wasn't about to be dead, I would have DCP'd because he would have had an AP angle on me. Now, this is where I want to be careful. I don't mind being on fire. Let the fire burn. Notice the cruisers will swap to AP, which is what I want. Buffalo has the improved AP angles, so we would need to kill him first. Cleveland doesn't. And now that they're shooting AP, I'm taking significantly less damage than if they were shooting HE. This is why we're letting the fires burn. Alright. That's one of the good benefits about Salem or Des Moines. Well, particularly Salem specifically, is the super heal is really good at dealing with fires. And now that we are no longer on fire, we're going to show broadside. The reason we're going broadside here is to try to go this way as fast as possible to get a broadside angle as fast as possible on the Cleveland. The sooner I can Citadel him, the faster I can kill him. The faster I can kill him, the faster I cannot die. His salvo got a triple fire there and just instant ripped that, because that's freaking wild. I let it tick for a moment. I let the fire tick for a moment, so his AI will swap to AP, and then start angling in, and then I DCP, so I stop taking the fire damage, because triple fire damage is pretty nutty. That's 2 of our heals used. We got 1 left. We're on 20,000 health. About half of our health has been used up. We are on almost 300,000 damage. Right. The team, aside from the Yodo and GQ, both relatively healthy. I'm trying to get this cruiser dead before the waves start spawning in the west, the east, and the south. Ideally, if you want to go for all bonuses, you want to deal with these early. You want to deal with them before the waves start spawning in. But I see the planes are already arriving, right? They're getting pretty close. These in particular are the ones that matter right here. You can actually lose all of these, and it wouldn't care. But, I'm shooting to see roughly when I get spotted, so I can have an idea of where he's at. Now that I'm spotted, I know he's near the edge. And there he is. I'm coming over to the island here in case wave 1's down here. I'm going to use this island here for cover. So I can try to 1v1 this Alaska down as quick as possible for the team, because that is one of the bonuses. I've got enough damage, I've done enough tanking. If I can secure this bonus, I don't care if I die afterwards. I've done enough for my team. That's not going to be the case. We're going to more than double our damage here. But sub drops the planes on the Alaska. That's cool. The planes spot the FDR. That's cool. So FDR being spotted means that the cruiser, the Alaska over here, and the 2DDs over here are now triggered, so they're going to start moving. I swap off the Alaska. The Alaska is not as much of a threat as these cruisers are. So I'm going to start gunning down these cruisers. Buffalo's the biggest threat of the three, but Cleveland's significantly closer. Since the Cleveland is closer, I'm going to kill him first because he is the easiest one to hit accurately to get those citadels. Right? And then once I see the Vallejo, once I get an angle on him, I want to start killing him, and then I'll deal with the Buffalo last. Again, strictly because these ships are closer. I'm not aiming high enough. You see here, he's angled almost 20 degrees away from me. Despite being at 3.5 kilometers, aiming the water line still drags you down because of that 20-degree angle. Take him down, and then it's going to take a little bit to get a good lead on this Buffalo because of how angled he is. Again, also 20 degrees, 21 degrees. Well, almost. But we also start pushing him. The reason I'm pushing now is to close the distance, close the angle, get a little closer, get better accuracy, kill him faster, and I want to be able to help with this cruiser or carrier down there as well. Also, because we pushed the enemy so aggressively, notice how the AI, Zal, is down here helping us as well. If you don't push down here, he kind of chills in this area, or like kind of this area. If you push the enemy, he'll push with you. And this comes in handy. Zal, we're going to use Zal to tank for us after dealing with, or when we try to deal with this FDR. We're out of heals left. We used our last heal, 462,000 damage, almost 1.4 million pot. That's good so far. This Humphreys is going to be an issue. The Alaska I'm not too concerned with. I can dodge him pretty easily. But the Sherman and Humphreys are going to be an issue. I start turning out. I don't want to deal with the Humphreys, but then I decide, you know what, let's go ahead and just kill him. Let's just deal with them. We're already well inside of his range. There's the Sherman as well. He's opening up. So I'm going to start turning away. I waited until Alaska shot before I started to turn away because I was on fire. I knew he was going to shoot AP, so I waited till he shot, slowed down, turned out. But the Alaska missed me. I really want to kill. My main priority is the FDR. I want to shoot him. But as long as this Humphreys is spotted, I'm going to keep shooting him because he's the one actually doing damage to me. The FDR will not do damage. Now, our sub here makes a misplay and pushes a bit too close while being above the water. And because of that, Alaska radars him, and because he's radared, he dies. Unfortunate for him, fortunate for us, is that the sub taking aggro here put him closer to the DD, which is why the destroyer stopped shooting us, which means we were able to live long enough to kill him. The Hawaii pushing down here as well. Notice the destroyers, they spawn here, or here, or here. And because Hawaii is so far down, he has like a great broadside angle on all these DDs. Very easy to kill. Or very, very quick killing for him, which is great. Right, that's where you want to be. And remember how I said earlier about the Zal? The Zal is down here, and he is helping out tank for the team. Now that he's gone dark, it's the destroyer that will be tanking for us. If the Alaska shoots HE at us, we're pretty much dead. With one salvo, it's not great. So that's why I'm kiting away here like this. So there's two reasons. One, I want to get away from the Alaska. I don't want him to shoot me. Two, I want to be able to get up and deal with these as they go like that. I don't have to worry about the destroyers. The whiskey destroyers are dead, right? This wave down here is dead, so it's just the helping with the carrier, and then just staying alive to deal with the east and west. I point out the Sherman, because that's the bigger threat to Zhao. I don't want him torpedoing the Zhao. I want Zhao to live as long as possible to do, you know, so he can do as much as he can. I know it's an AI, but he's still useful, right? He's taking aggro from, instead of the GQ being shot down by the Sherman, the Zhao is being shot by the Sherman instead. Unfortunately, the Zhao turns out and eats a torp from the Sherman before the Sherman goes down. The Alaska did shoot us. We slowed down, turned out to try to avoid the shot. Now that we have a decent angle on the FDR, we swap to the AP. There's a Citadel there. Fantastic. And we finish him off. Great. 534,000 damage. 1.7 million potential. Now let's go help on these next. We're kind of going to go up like this-ish. We still want to stay angled away from the Alaska. I would rather the Alaska shoot anyone else other than myself. My team is significantly healthier, right? Only the Suzy is quite low. Although the Suzy is quite low because he's pushing in against a Georgia, which he cannot angle to. He can angle to Buffalo and Rooster and bait AP with keeping the fire on him. Unfortunately, that is not what kills him. The Georgia ends up killing him. The Rooster's on the edge of my range. In fact, I can't even lead properly to shoot him. I also end up accidentally fat fingering my radar down here. But I noticed the Rooster is way out of my range, so I started swapping to the Georgia. I also start going straight north, just to try to get closer to him. Turn out a little bit, because I see the GQ is not spotted. The Alaska's over here. The moment he pops out this way, I don't want to be the closest one for him to shoot. I'd rather my teammates near the heel deal with that. The Yodo, please notice that the Yodo is in our base here. The Yodo is a torpedo-focused cruiser that has okay guns. Like, the big thing about Yodo is its torpedo layout. So he should be out here. Like, he would have some, or like over here. If the Yodo is down here, right, he could easily torpedo these ships as they come up like this. But he does not. Now the Georgia's dead. We start turning. There's the Alaska, right, where the Hawaii is being shot at, the Bremen's being shot at. They're closer than I am. So I'm just chilling right here, right? I'm using free look. I get a decent aim and then use free look to shoot over the island because you can't really see past it or through it. Not without modding the camera angle, which I have not done. I am leading a little bit too far ahead. Well, I guess it's not bad. It's not bad. We go after the Austin next. We want to deal with the cruisers first. The cruisers have higher damage output than the destroyers. So, what will kill my team faster is the cruisers, hence why I want to kill them first. Alright, also, again, notice because we're out here, between between F5 and F7, we have broadside angle on all these ships as they come up. Whereas the Bremen and the Hawaii have, like, really bad angles. And the Yodo has an even worse angle. That's why it's, if you can, it's great to be centrally positioned around here. I'm still playing around with my throttle because I just don't want... The last thing that could kill me is the Montana. I can angle it to his 406s, but I'm not close enough to do that. And if I was, I would be being pelted by his secondaries. I know there's a Sherman there. I think about, oh, I need a radar. No, the radar doesn't reach. Right, radar doesn't reach. Sherman's right there. I send one salvo out just to try to quick snipe him, in case my teammates don't. But I didn't lead properly. They fall behind, and the Hawaii picks them up before they land anyways, which is great. It's great to see the Hawaii being quick with that. So, we're 674,000 damage. We got 14 seconds left. The Montana starts to maneuver, so my lead's way off. I need to pull it back. Like to try to get this Montana dead before the game's over. The game is officially over, and does Montana die? He dies. 685,000 damage, 1.7 million potential. If we go to the 50 citadels, amazing broadsides, absolutely fantastic. Go team score here, 2,500 base XP. Poor submarine, poor destroyer. The primary mistake here was I suspect not doing a lot of damage to the battleships. Like, the pathing was probably bad on his part. And then getting himself caught out by the Alaska radar. GQ Johnny could have done better if he had, like, abused positioning or island cover to get broadside on his torps. But to guard damage here, HE less than 100. AP's put so much work in. 561,000. Fire's not bad. So actually, between HE and the fires, that's 120,000 damage. Pretty solid. 12 kills, 9 damages. That's part of why the base XP is so high, is not just kills, but like just the number of ships you do damage to. But notice, so damage received here, in high explosive, right? I took more than my entire health pool from high explosive, and then 50%, more than 50% of my health pool in fire damage, because Salem has that super heal and because fire damage is fully healable. If it wasn't, without the super heal, you'd absolutely be dead already. This is why I prefer Salem over Des Moines in operations, is the ability to abuse fires to bait enemy AP. But great game overall. Had an alright team, especially between these two. I mean, they should be, right? These two ships are very strong. Arguably stronger than the Salem. Okay, no. If the Hawaii had 30 mil side platings instead of 28, then it would 100% would be stronger than Salem. But it has 28, so it can be overmatched. It can't brawl with the battleships easily, like Salem can, or like Bremen can. But still, very strong ships. So both of them, not a bad game, and they're pretty friendly too. That's another thing. But I'll post the I'll use the thumbnail. I'll try to use the thumbnail for the commander skills, and then I'll put the equipment in the description. No, it's the standard build I've run for my Salem before in other videos. Y'all enjoy. God bless.